What's up, guys? Welcome back to Road to Crypto Millionaire episode 5. Today we don't have much going on with the big names in crypto, very little volatility. So I'm going to be talking about some altcoins that I'm watching, potential trade opportunities for you guys on Binance, and just what's going on in the macro picture, what you guys should be paying attention to. And let's get into it. So I think I'll start here with Bitcoin. We've been watching this descending triangle pattern. I'm not going to go over too much just because I feel like I've been beating a dead horse with it. But, whichever way this plays out, it's going to be pretty big. How far we've gone into this pattern without choosing a direction is starting to act like a coil. We're only going to last here for so much longer before it starts to pop, and once it picks a direction, everyone else is going to start to follow and FOMO in, or panic sell if it goes to the downside. But some good things I'm watching right now, first of all, is this uptrend here that we've been forming since July. We haven't really closed below it. You can see here over the past couple of days. I'm looking at this thing as kind of an outlier, with this big spike that happened, with respect to the top of this channel as well as the bottom of this. But I'm really looking at this as kind of an outlier in the whole trend here. And I think that that's a positive thing going into this resistance, because you take a look here, we saw just this massive sell-off off of this resistance previously, and every time we've touched it, you see these big candles coming down off of this one, especially, just straight down, and we're really getting close to it now without seeing that same type of price action. So it tells me that we're either going to consolidate out of this and literally nothing's going to happen, or we are about to break out of it. Obviously it's a potential move to go down as well, but whatever happens is going to be big. And right now I'm hoping that it goes up, obviously, because that'll be a really bullish sign for the next couple months. And I want to go over some fundamental news that I'm looking at as well. So really just I'm staying away from Bitcoin right now, not doing anything with it, just keeping an eye on it, obviously. But obviously no trades to make with how little volatility is. We're down $12 today, 0.19%. So obviously no trades to be made there. If we take a look at some of the news now, we can see that Bakkt recently announced that their Bitcoin trading futures are going to start on December 12th. Now that's actually less than 2 months from now. So I think that whether this moves up or down, this is going to have a big impact on it and potentially serve as a very bullish catalyst to start with 2019. And one reason that I believe that, we like to focus on adoption here on our channel, and I want to talk about how Starbucks is actually the largest mobile payments app in the United States. It's bigger than Apple Pay, Google Pay, and Samsung Pay, with 23.4 million users. You always hear about people saying how they want to go out and buy a cup of coffee with their Bitcoin, and once this integration happens, there's nothing stopping you. So real adoption should be happening once this goes live. And obviously you have the physical one-to-one backed futures contracts as well, which is potentially bullish for the scene. Investors are going to have new exposure to crypto, as well as Fidelity recently announcing that they are going to be opening a trading desk for crypto. All these bullish announcements that I think that Q1 2019 could really shape up to be a very bullish quarter for crypto. Take a look here at this last sentence. A Bitcoin ETF should closely follow the Bakkt launch, which Bakkt launch being December 12th, and the Bitcoin ETF has to be decided by February from the SEC. So the continued maturity of Bitcoin futures, Fidelity's crypto initiative, and Nasdaq's push into the crypto system. Given all the activity, a Bitcoin ETF approval in late Q1 2019 seems reasonable, even inevitable. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how a lot of this stuff plays out. I believe one of what they also were talking about here, one of the current no's, actually, I think she might be the deciding vote, I believe, is that one of their terms is going to run up in December as well. So if we get someone new into the SEC that's going to be deciding on this, it's very, very possible that we see this ETF approved in 2019. And we have Backed, and we have Fidelity, and we have NASDAQ. If NASDAQ were to list like the top 5 to 7 cryptos like they were talking about, that would be insanely bullish as well. So something that I'm really, really looking forward to. I really can't wait for the next 2 months. And that's the reason that right now, with the current low volatility in crypto, that is absolutely something you should be learning right now, is how to trade, doubling down on your strategy and seeing what works for you. Because when there's no trades to be made, you need to be investing in yourself and learning about what works for you, journaling, whatever you got to do to ensure that you are ready for what is to come. I know I'm being a mega bull right now, but I think that there's good reason that a lot of these real adoption use cases can serve as big catalysts to get a big bull run going in 2019. And so that's why I am doing this series, to encourage people to learn how to trade. And I was up an insane amount in January. I was up about 30x my initial investment. I'd be happy to talk about this in another episode, how many Bitcoins I had, and I was making insane multiples, just literally multiplying my money. So that's why I think that it's insanely valuable for everyone to be investing in themselves right now. I'd be happy to talk about my strategy in another video. So if you guys do want me to talk about that more, comment down below. Let me know. But I think that it's insanely valuable for people to be doubling down right now, not making trades, and just learning how to do technical analysis, risk management, and seeing what works for them. And that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been learning technical analysis for the past 3 months and really investing in myself so that I'm ready for the next opportunity. So, rant over. Let's get into some altcoins now. So, looking at altcoins, I'm really paying attention to some altcoins that look exactly like this. A lot of them have been just deep corrections here over 2018, and now we're starting to see them consolidate here, and a good amount of them are actually starting to pop off. Good example being Ravencoin. We saw it pop off about 600% here, and no one could have predicted this type of pump. So don't blame yourself if you missed it, but this was just an insane pump, and I think it's really time to start paying attention to some of these altcoins that are popping off, because when profits leave this one, they're gonna need somewhere to go, and everyone's looking to start looking for that alt season again. Remind them of those profits that they made. So a couple that I'm looking at again are PundyX. I think this is a good one to be accumulating down here. They have insanely solid fundamentals. It's a low Satoshi coin. I think it could do extremely well in a bull run, especially with the adoption that it's getting. Crypto.com is another great one based on this technical pattern. It recently popped off last night, and I'm looking to get it right in this, right in between this red line and this blue line here. This is, I think, a great zone to pick this up. You can run a really tight stop loss on this. It's on Binance. I think I would put my stop loss right over here around the 735-ish, just not too deep below. Again, really tight stop loss on this, just because first of all, this red line was the resistance that it saw going into this. It saw resistance here, which should now act as support, and it's also the 0.786, which, if you don't know, is 786 Fibonacci, is a great continuation pattern. If it bounces off there, you're going to see it continue higher. So I think that would be a great pickup. So with that confluence here, between 751 and 744 Satoshis is going to be a great buy for Crypto.com. Shout out to Vin Ferretti on this one. I've been watching his crypto trading series, his 0.2 to 1 Bitcoin challenge that he's been doing. So he picked out Loopring, and I really tend to agree with his analysis here that it's forming a really nice ascending triangle pattern. It's really, really close to this resistance here. It looks like it's getting rejected right now, actually. But, if we do something like this, where, this being the previous resistance right here, if we do something like that, I would not be surprised at all. I'm really looking to see this thing break out, and I did get it last night right around this 1720, or maybe, yeah, something like that, 1720 area. So pretty nice pickup, really pretty close stop loss as well. I'm only losing about 2% on that, and I think that the target here would be about, let's see, if we go from here to roughly, I think that's a pretty decent target. You can make 5% on that. It's just about being consistent here, guys. If we see this thing break up, I think that's a pretty reasonable target, possibly even higher as well. If we get to, wait, did I measure that right, actually? Yeah, so we're going to get about 5% on that, potentially more if it continues higher. Typically with these, actually, yeah, I guess we could go for more extended targets considering the ascending triangle pattern. If we, I guess you would consider that it started right here. Typically it goes about the same distance up as it started, so that's about 15% right there. So maybe it goes to, maybe that has some confluence with this resistance. Yeah, so I guess you could take extended targets about 13% up here, or maybe less, at just below 2,000 Satoshis. I think that that's a reasonable second target for that. VeChain today, we saw it pop off for about 7%. Currently just coming down off its little run, but we did see this bounce off of the 0.618 Fibonacci here. This was a 150% rally from low to high here, so obviously it had to cool off for a little bit, and now we're starting to see it come back alive. Hopefully this isn't some kind of dead cat bounce, but we did see on their VForge website, these are the network statistics for VeChain, we did see a very large increase in transactions today. So hopefully, I don't know if this has a lot of correlation with this chart, but it's interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how once this network starts to come alive, how price is going to be correlated with that. So definitely something I'm watching, as with all the partnerships that they have. It's really fun to watch how VeChain has been performing and their network statistics. And speaking of, with all of the FUD going around, which is all bullshit, by the way, we saw Authority nodes at 2.8 billion in holdings, and as of, I think, yesterday, we saw it increase by 300 million. So Authority nodes within VeChain are the 101 nodes or businesses that are going to be holding VeChain. We did see them increase their holdings by about 300 million. So clearly someone is accumulating. If you take a look at the order books on Binance, you can see very obvious sell walls on VeChain, that someone was trying to suppress the price quite a bit within this range. So the fact that this happened, that we saw an increase of 300 million, does not surprise me at all. It's pretty clear that whales love to accumulate and to manipulate VeChain's price, so that really doesn't surprise me at all. But if I've learned anything, follow the whales, because you get in early and you catch on to stuff like this. You can obviously ride it up very, very easily just by being in the same token as them. So definitely something I'm watching, and along with the solid fundamentals of this project, I think long term, there's no doubt that VeChain could be one of the most successful crypto projects in terms of adoption. What else was I going to talk about? EOS might be another solid trade opportunity here, forming this nice uptrend. I did see that on Data Dash's channel, and I thought this was pretty funny too. I don't know if he realized, but if you take a look at one thing he was going over today, was that there was a report that CNBC, whenever they report on market turmoil, with that caption on in their headlines, within the traditional markets, you tend to see that what they tend to call the bottom. Markets in turmoil being the red dots here. Their report basically signals a buy signal for traditional markets. So I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know if Nick realized, but you can also do that with Bitcoin. Anytime you see the joke on crypto Twitter is that anytime you see CNBC futures tweet that they're going long, you should basically just go short, or the other way around, which way they tweeted it. But pretty funny to see that CNBC is now being counter traded on not only crypto but traditional markets as well. So we'll see how long that can play out, because an indicator is only as good as the people that use it. Once it becomes well known within once everyone knows about this indicator, it stops becoming an indicator. Is how that works. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. But again, I think that's really how you guys need to be investing your time, is with the low volatility right now. Keep learning technical analysis, keep learning about your strategy, what worked for you, find out what works for other people. And once this bull market comes back, we are going to be very, very well prepared, and we are going to be making fantastic trades, and just doubling down on what we know, and just capitalizing on all of our opportunities with altcoins and stuff like that. So that was Road to Crypto Millionaire episode 5. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are watching, and any other news that you guys want me to cover, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.